In this video, we're going to run through all the e-commerce models in depth so you can decide which one best suits your needs. So before we get started, make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell so you can be informed when I next release a video like this. Now, every time you check your socials, there's a new e-commerce guru pushing a new business model. Now, most of these ways of making money online are legitimate. However, there is just too many options out there now. And for somebody who's starting out, it can be overwhelming. There's just so many choices out there. So some of the questions that you might be asking are, should I get into Amazon? Should I get into dropshipping? Should I clear out a room in my house to hold stock? So I've had a few people contact me and ask, what is the most efficient way of making money online? And really and truly, it's not a question that's answered so simply. Some business models are very, very easy to start, however, very difficult to make profit with. However, other business models can be more profitable. However, they might require a little bit more investment or to increase your skill set in that business model itself. One thing to understand, however, is that starting an online business generally is quite low risk and doesn't require a massive investment compared to other types of business models. However, running a successful online business requires hard work, a little bit of luck, and a lot of patience. Now, sometimes when people hear that there's a lot of hard work involved, it can turn them away. But on the other hand, when people mention that these online business models are simple, sometimes you can get unrealistic expectations. So one thing I want you to think about throughout the video is don't set your mind to be looking for the simplest or easiest business model, because that might not be the one that actually works for you. Instead, what I want you to do is think about what skill sets you can bring to the table, what skills you'll be willing to learn in order to create a long-term and sustainable online business. So a few of the points that I want to discuss when talking about the online business models are how easy they are to set up, how profitable they can be, how sustainable they are as a business, and the level of competition within those realms. Now remember, online business is not a get-rich-quick scheme, and if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So the first business model we're going to get into is dropshipping. Now, this is where you create a website to take online orders without the need to actually hold the stock or the inventory. Instead of being the one that fulfills the order, you send the order to a supplier who then fulfills the order on your behalf and takes responsibility for the shipping. So in terms of the pros of dropshipping, it's a relatively easy and simple to start online business. There's no need to hold stock yourself, and also you don't need to fulfill the orders in the first place. So to start a basic dropshipping store, there's also not many costs involved. All you need to do is create a website. There's a link in the description for Shopify where you can get a discount. Once you've created your store, you've instantly got access to thousands of products on multiple different websites that you can connect to your store and take orders from your customers. You can either go down the paid advertising route, alternatively, you can organically post to drive traffic to your store. Now, some of the downsides when it comes to dropshipping is that there can be a little bit of a lower margin than some of the other business models, and that's basically because you're not holding your own stock. So because of the margins when it comes to dropshipping, you do need to be aware of paid advertising spends. You don't want to be eating into your profit. This is why many people in the modern day are going down the posting organic route to get their sales. Also, with dropshipping, oftentimes you are competing with stores that do hold stock or inventory, and they are working with better margins than you are. Another thing to note is that because you're not in control of your fulfillment, you do need to be careful, because when products are not reaching the customer or they have an issue or a defect, you're responsible even though you're not the one that's fulfilling them. So overall, dropshipping is one of the easiest online e-commerce businesses that you can set up. So in terms of profitability, margins can sometimes be a little bit tight, so I would say it's mid-range in comparison to other business models in terms of profit. In terms of sustainability, I would say that if you're successful and scale your store, that's when you can make it a successful and sustainable long-term business. However, in the initial stage, you will be running through a lot of products just to test. And in terms of competition, there really is a lot of competition within the dropshipping space, so you need to find a product that's relatively unique or take a new marketing angle that's not been tested before with your product. So the second business model we're going to be talking about is eBay or Amazon arbitrage, also known as eBay or Amazon dropshipping, and here's how it works. So first off, you find a product on Amazon that's selling for a higher price than you find it on eBay. Typically, then you copy the product description and photos and create an eBay listing from your product. You'll then list your post at a higher price on eBay than you find your product on Amazon. Now this tends to work because eBay shoppers don't usually shop on Amazon and vice versa. So as soon as your eBay listing has made a sale, you then go onto Amazon and fulfill the order, shipping it to your customer's address. So many people like this business method because it takes zero upfront costs to set up. So you don't have to build a website, you don't have to find suppliers, and all you need is an eBay account and an Amazon account. So there's quite a few downsides to this business model. Brand owners can reach out to you and try and get you shut down on eBay because you're using their product listings, you're using their images and descriptions. You've also got to be aware that the prices on Amazon are constantly changing, which can affect your margins. Also, many people who use this business model have had copyright infringement claims made against them by the Amazon sellers who are saying that they're using their product images and product descriptions. Lastly, and most importantly, this business model is actually against eBay's terms of service. So it's not my most recommended business model to start off with in the e-commerce. Overall, it's a relatively easy business model to get into. and it's got a very, very good cash flow because you don't really need that much investment to start up. There's very low business long-term potential when it comes to eBay Amazon arbitrage, and you constantly need to be on the lookout for your next product. There's not much profit in this as well, so I'll put it low on the scale of profitability. And in terms of competition, I would say don't worry about competition. There's already enough to worry about if you're starting eBay Amazon arbitrage. So the third online business model I do want to talk about is retail arbitrage. So this has become quite popular over the last few years. If you look at liquidation stores like TK Maxx, you can sometimes find products that are selling for a lot less than you'll find them on Amazon. So people will buy from liquidation stores such as TK Maxx, check Amazon's pricing, know that they can sell them on Amazon for a much higher price than they actually bought them. And so there's no need for a website. You can leverage Amazon's massive marketplace for very quick sales. And also, other than the inventory, it's relatively low cost. All you need is an Amazon FBA account. There are, however, quite a few cons if you're talking about retail arbitrage. First of which is that you're constantly on the lookout for Amazon who are trying to shut you down. You're also going to be on the lookout for your next product. You might not be able to get a lot of stock for something that's making you a lot of profit. And so there's not really much room for scalability in this game. An example of which is that certain brands you can't actually sell on Amazon without Amazon having prior approval from that brand, such as Lego, for example, to sell those products. So imagine spending thousands of dollars on stock of Lego products, going onto Amazon to try and sell them, realizing that you're blocked because you don't have their approval. So it's a relatively easy business model to actually start up. All you need to do is go and find products from a liquidation store, list them on Amazon, sell them at a higher price and make some profit. Now, there's no scalability in this business, so I wouldn't call it a sustainable business at all. And so in terms of competition, I would put this as quite high because you'll find a lot of Amazon sellers in the marketplace selling the exact same products as you. The fourth e-commerce business model we're going to talk about today is selling private goods on Amazon. So how this works is first you find a product or a manufacturer that produces that product in bulk and allows you to brand those products with your designs. Most commonly, these manufacturers are in China on Alibaba. So once your manufacturer has branded their products, you ship them in bulk to Amazon's FBA warehouse where you'll have access to Amazon's massive marketplace to sell your products on. So some of the benefits of this business model is that there's relatively few barriers to entry. Also, you don't need to build a website, and you can get access to Amazon's massive marketplace straight away. With Amazon also, you don't have to run any paid advertising campaigns. Also, private labeled products can give off a lot more of a premium vibe, and so you can expect higher margins when selling. You do, however, require a much larger upfront investment than other business models. Now, some of the cons when it comes to Amazon FBA is that it's a lot more expensive than, for example, dropshipping. You do need a larger initial investment. Many of the gurus online might say you can start with $1,000 or $2,000. But if you're talking about a really good product, working with a supplier that can manufacture in bulk, I would say that you really need to set aside around $4,000 to $6,000 to really start this. Now, another challenge, and this exists in some of the other business models as well, is that when you're working with a manufacturer in China, communication isn't always as easy as it is when you're talking to Western suppliers. Now, there's an interesting story about Amazon FBA. One of my friends actually started a coaster business on Amazon, and he was making a lot of profit from this. He was making around 100K in 1 year. The next year, Amazon had taken his product and resold them as Amazon Basics, pushing him out of the market. So this is one thing you do need to watch out for with Amazon FBA. So to summarize, this probably is low on the scale of ease of startup. It takes a little bit more effort, a little bit more time to really get set up. However, you do own the brand, so you can sell this on your own website as well as on Amazon. And comparing to other business models, this one's relatively profitable. And as you know, we've spoken about Amazon in some of the other business models. However, this way of doing Amazon FBA really is probably the most sustainable and long-term way to build an online Amazon business. Now, we are talking about Amazon, so there might be a high level of competition when it comes to the products. However, what you can do is brand it really well and give it a premium vibe to make it stand out from the rest of the competition. Now, the fifth business model I do want to talk about is selling private label products on your own website. So this is the business model that I actually like the most. I see it as an extension and a scaling of the dropshipping business. So you can set your own pricing, you can never really get banned because you're not on Amazon or eBay, and also you're in complete control of how your product is developed. Now, in terms of the pros, it's probably one of the most secure ways to actually run an online business. Also, you have one of the greatest returns of repeat customers in comparison with some of the other business models that I've spoken about today. So you won't be selling the same dropshipping products that everybody else is selling because now you've had a little bit of input with the manufacturer on how the product is either branded or built a little bit different to what else is out there in the competition. And of all the business models that I've spoken about, this one has probably got the longevity or sustainability of really building an online good business. And in comparison with some of the other online business models that I've spoken about today, this one has the potential for the largest long-term growth. There is, however, a lot more input required when it comes to the manufacturing also input in driving traffic to your store, whether it's paid traffic or organic TikTok traffic. And just like private label selling on Amazon, you do require a greater upfront investment than some of the other business models. Now, this is one of the harder online business models to launch because you need to be involved in the creative product process. You also need a bit more input on the marketing, as well as building the website and also the fulfillment. Also, in terms of profitability, this is one of the higher profit business models. What you do need to understand though is that this comes after a greater investment. Now, because you're in creative control of the whole process, this is probably one of the more sustainable online business models that I've spoken about today. And if you work with a manufacturer to make a unique and personalized product, competition really is at its least, because you've got something completely unique to you. So now that you've got an overview of the most common online business models in use in 2024, one thing I would say is don't be afraid of actually combining the business model. For example, if you're running a website, this doesn't actually mean that you can't also sell on eBay or Amazon. Another example of combining the business models is that you could start off with dropshipping, test a product and test a marketing method, and if it's successful, you can then scale this into private labeling on your own website. So 2 points I do want to make if you're looking to start an online business. Number one, if you see a business as a get-rich-quick scheme, you're probably not going to be thinking about it in terms of long-term and sustainable online business. Secondly, when you're choosing a business model, don't think about what's easy. Think about what skills you can bring to the table, or what skills you're willing to learn or willing to put hard work into developing your business. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.